So today is a massive day in Chelmsford Town's Vanarama National League North campaign. We've played 7 games since we last here, and no spoilers, we'll cover it in the recap, but things have been going pretty well, to be honest. So we've got a double header coming your way. We're taking on 2 of the top 4 in Chester FC and Kings Lynn Town. They're going to be big games, so I'm not going to keep you here any longer. Let's just get into it. So yes, today we've got 2 gigantic games coming up against Chester and Kings Lynn, and to be honest, there's not a whole lot else to go over other than I think we've had 1 player go out on loan, but that's about it. So I think we're going to just jump straight into the recap. So as you can see, our last game, I'm just keeping the form a little hidden here at the bottom. Our last game was against South Shields. We lost 2-0. It was pretty one-sided and we never really got into the game, it felt like. But if I scroll down, you can see the 7 games since have actually gone pretty well, to be honest. I mean, apart from 1 minor slip up against Hereford, we have managed to win the other, well, we've managed to win the other 6 at least, and we've gone unbeaten throughout. Although I will say, these 7 games were all against pretty low opposition. I feel like 10th was the highest position that we played in this run. So we've got 2 games coming up today, which are considerably harder than all of these, just to make the Kings Lynn game a little bit more tense. We've actually not got a left winger currently. I think we're going to be playing Jack Bates over there, which is not really what I want for such a big game. But anyway, let's jump into the recap. We started off with a 1-0 victory over Grantham Town. So I would not say this game was exactly a classic. We managed to grind out a victory. We were pretty dominant overall. They didn't even manage a shot on target, but we didn't manage much ourselves, to be honest, and the game was decided by a penalty. So let's just quickly watch that. I mean, we all know what a penalty looks like. There's not a whole lot of point, I suppose. Leo Hamblin just slots it into the bottom corner. Campbell nearly goes the right way. Well, Campbell goes the right way, nearly gets a hand to it, but not quite enough. Then we came up against Hereford, a 3-3 draw here. They were the better team overall by the end of the match, looking at XG and shots on target. But that very much came down to these last 2 chances, which were very frustrating and frustratingly similar, let's say. A rare centre-mid appearance from Ratchford here, and he did actually score a pretty good goal. But first, our first goal was a long below from Smith, found Agbanone, ran into the box and just smashed it into the far side of the net. Nice early lead for us. And then only 4 minutes later, Adiemo and Birchall lining up. He gets it into Ratchford on the edge of the area, who just slams it in the bottom corner. Wasn't really the corner, I suppose, but close enough. But then just a minute later, they managed to get a goal back on us. Bates with a bad header out, and it just falls to Curtis to give them a route back into the match. Make it 2-1. But then just before half-time, a long tornado goal kick, a free kick, and Agbanone found Adiemo. Oh, I'm really off form today with this commentary. Before, late in the game, I'm just going to pause this. 2 almost identical goals in a row. Campbell with a long ball from a corner into Kershaw, who headers it past Jackson. Before a Campbell free kick from the same corner also meets Kershaw at the back post. He puts it to the other side at least. But very frustrated to see 2 very similar goals back to back like that. And at the time, I was very annoyed about this. I mean, Hereford were not doing brilliantly, I don't think. But as this was the only time that it was slipped up in the run, it wasn't really too much of a problem. Next up, we had a 2-0 victory over Brackley Town. This was a much more comfortable game. I mean, the first half was pretty uneventful, as you can see. But the second half, we definitely came into our own, and it was all pretty much down to Birchall's fantastic passing ability. So in the 61st minute, Bates gets the ball out to Birchall, and he just puts in a lovely floated cross to the back post. Agbanone meets on the volley and manages to beat the keeper, Giametti, in net. And then Hamblin gets it out to Birchall again, who, like Kevin De Bruyne, is it straight past the back line. Adiemo runs onto it, and he managed to pop it past the keeper in the 91st minute to secure the 3 points. And we got another 3 points against Guiseley in the next match. And amazingly, something you will not see very often, a Shiloh Waldo appearance and hat-trick. Absolutely insane performance from one of our longest standing players here. I think the first 2 were really good, or was it just the first one? Yeah, free kick into the top corner. Absolute belter, unsavable. What a finish. Birchall then steps up and gets another assist, running inside after a 1-2 there. Oh yeah, and Waldo just slots it in the bottom corner. Was not that special of a goal. They did get one back here. Nedgeman, with his first assist of the game, and yeah, you heard me right there, gets a ball to Petrie, who rockets it in. And then, not content with just setting up 1 goal, he decides to set up another. He gets the ball here, just holds onto it for so long. Adiemo mugs him and just rockets it in the bottom corner. Re-establish our 2-goal lead. And then late in the game, Bodden gets a ball to the back post and Waldo headers it past the keeper at the near side. So a brilliant 3 points from us there. It was a little scary when they got that one back at 2-1, but quite frankly, in the second half, they didn't really look like they were creating much, and every single highlight was ours. So yeah, fantastic performance all round. And we had another brilliant performance in the following game, a 3-0 victory over Telford. Now, Telford were definitely one of the top teams in the division early in the season, but they've massively fell off. I mean, I think they're bottom half at this point. And to be honest, they played like it. We dealt with them. This was very one-sided. It was kind of shocking. So it started off with a Morehouse corner that comes out wide, and Birchall, just lovely little curled finish into the near post with his left foot. Before Ratchford gets the ball to Backwell, who puts it up to Yeboah up front, managed to smash it past the keeper. And then Yeboah grabbed his second pretty late on in the game with just this, runs through the whole team and just rockets it in at the near side. Absolutely fantastic finish. And he was definitely on form today. And the next game was a 3-1 victory against Nuneaton Town. Pretty one-sided overall. I think they only scored from a penalty. Yeah, penalty in the start of the second half. Talon Shepherd getting a rare goal for us. Let's just quickly watch these. So yeah, a Gofford free kick hits the bar, and Shepherd was the first to react to it and managed to slot it very comfortably and calmly into the far post before he turned assist at with a lovely little pass over the top that Lusaqueno got on the end of, with another rare appearance from him. And then a long goal kick. It's picked up by Shepherd. Morehouse pops through Lusaqueno again, who beats the keeper without too many issues. Before, as I said, an Nuneaton penalty in the start of the second half. Managed to get one back for them, but it was not enough at all. And then just to round off the recap, we had a 1-0 victory over Spennymoor Town. This game was a lot nervier than it probably should have been. Spennymoor are not a fantastic side, but we did get Shiloh Waldo sent off in the 18th minute, which I was not happy with at all. But at 61st minute, a lovely ball over from Tessier. Backwell got on the end of it, and he just managed to pop it past the keeper at the far side. Keeper did get a touch, but it was not enough to keep it out, and we picked up the 3 points. So how has that left us looking in the league? Very good indeed. We're up to 78 points. We've got a 7-point gap on our 2 opponents today, but obviously if we lose both of them, it could make the end of the season quite challenging, especially with Kings Lynn having a game in hand. So it's very important we get results here. And also, South Shields are only 4 points ahead of us, which seems quite massive, but I definitely think with the right run, we could potentially catch them. Who have South Shields actually got to play over the rest of the season? Just have a quick look at positions. I mean, there's a lot of mediocre teams here, but they've also got to play both of our opponents from today. So they've got Guiseley in 23rd, Telford in 12th, Aldershot in the FA Trophy, okay? Nuneaton 20th, Spennymoor 16th, Kings Lynn 4th, Chester 3rd, Stafford Rangers 6th, and Buxton 24th. So if it comes down to the last game of the season, they're playing Buxton, who are bottom of the league. So if we are going to make a push for promotion, we really need to do it before that point. I mean, we've got Warrington number 13th, which should be a relatively easy win for us. How did we fare against them last time we played? Oh, we lost 2-0. Never mind, we are screwed. But yeah, we've got 8 games left of the season, and we really need to get at least 1 win out of these 2, but realistically we need 2 wins, because I can't see South Shields even dropping 4 points, let alone dropping enough for me to catch them up if we don't win every single match. So this is very much going to decide our season right here. The only bit of transfer news we really got to go over, I did mention it quickly. Jordan Piggott's gone out on loan to Slough Town. He was kicking off. He wasn't happy at all, and I just thought he's not really integral to the team at the moment. Let's just get rid of him for now. And I actually did mention in the last episode, Tonadro was leaving us, well, had been sold and was coming back to us on loan, but he's not actually. He's going at the end of his contract and isn't being loaned back to us. So I knew we had him for the rest of the season. I just got it a bit backwards because we sort of got the opposite deal that we were looking for, but realistically it makes very little difference. And it means we haven't got a usable loan slot on him, which is good because we've actually got another loan offer in just for a bit more wing cover. Tyzo Marcel here, he's decent. He's definitely not a world beater, but he's got a lot of pace, 12 dribbling, 10 crossing, 13 first touch, good aggression, determination. He's got, generally good stats where you'd want them, 9 passing, 9 technique, and so on. I definitely wouldn't put him on the same level as like a Birchall, I want to say. Yeah, Birchall's comfortably got him beaten there, realistically speaking. But if we compare him to like, a Waldo, who is the level that we're, looking for him to match, or at least provide, extra backup for, he is better than Waldo in pretty much all regards. So I definitely think if he's willing to come for us, he will really help pad out our wing attack options. Because as it stands, I'll go tactic screen, our wing slots, we've basically only got Birchall and Agbonown that I'm very comfortable with. We've got Waldo, who shows up occasionally and, scores a hat-trick out of nowhere, which is just nuts. And then Bates, who is sort of just an emergency backup. And unfortunately, due to Waldo being suspended and Birchall being on international duty for the next game against Kings Lynn Town, it looks like we're going to be going Bates and Agbonown up front. I'm not sure on our striking option. Yeboah has had a few good games lately, so I might get him back into the squad. Backwell, you can see from the recent form, he played well in his last match, but apart from that, he's been pretty middling at best. And Adiemo has, he's performed better than Backwell, and he's been the most consistent across the last 5 games, I'd say. But that's consistently, it's decent kind of level, which is not really what we're after for one of the most important games of the season. But either way, we've got 2 days until the Kings Lynn match, so I'm going to go forward a couple of days, and we'll just get straight into it. And okay, Tyzo Marcel is going to be joining us on loan from Colchester. Like I said, he's going to be very much a depth option, but it is very important to have that extra option on the wing just to see out the last few games, especially as the players are getting tired this late into the season. So apologies that the picture you're seeing on screen is a little bit blurry. Somehow the recording where I go through the team news and then into the match, the start of it all got corrupted, so we're missing the whole team news bit or the lineups. So as you can see on your screen, there's not a whole lot different to usual. We've got Jackson in goal, we've got Hamblin, Shepherd, Mitchell and Smith along the back, Gofford in behind Archer and Morehouse in midfield. We've got Marcel making his debut out on the left wing for us, Agbonown on the right and Backwell up front. To be honest, I'm recording this about 3 days after playing these games, so I don't really know my thought process at the time of doing this, but there's not a whole lot different from a normal lineup there, so I'm sure you can understand every pick. So yeah, let's just go back to me a few days ago, and we'll get into the match. Okay, let's try and get... I always think I shouldn't go with the assistant recommended shout, but then it's normally the one that I want to go for. They're 11th in the form table, and we're first. We really need to go for this. Decent response. Tyzo is loving it in the new team. Very good. Okay, we've got everyone's backs up apart from Tommy Backwell, which works out fine for us. We are in our standard 4-3-3 formation. What are they going to be playing? Kings Lynn are in a 4-2-3-1. Okay, not a formation that I know all that much about, but willing to give it a shot. Okay, we've got a highlight in the 4th minute. There's a long ball going over, and Jackson does collect it. Is this going to be one of Jackson's legendary long ball assists? Doesn't look like it. It does put up a big long ball though, and it looks like it almost worked. Archer's managed to get it through. Backwell's picked it up in the box. Going to get a pass off. Morehouse managed to slot it in the bottom corner. That's brilliant. Oh, that's just a lovely composed little pass there. And Morehouse managed to finish it. I saw someone get fouled. Who was it? Agbonown running through here. Just gets taken out completely. Luckily we got, I think, an advantage play, but either way, beautifully composed finish from Morehouse and the dream start for us. 5th minute and we're 1-0 up. Okay, it's been a very quiet second half since that, and as soon as I start talking we get another highlight. We'll go to the back post, but it doesn't find anyone. Now Bromwich is looking to counter-attack. We have got 5 men back covering him, so he better not score this. He hasn't really got much support, but he's got some arriving in the box now. But he managed to blast it over. That was a little scary how close to goal he got though, to be honest. Now we've got a free kick from Knight. This is all kicking off suddenly, and the head has been looped over Tommy Jackson and the net, thankfully. Okay, can we see this out to half time? That would be ideal. Yes, we can. Let's get into the dressing room. Media's give you a lot of credit lately. Yeah, let's go with that. Callum Archer, you need to get your shit together, mate. You aren't that bad. I believe you can improve. You've got the ability to make a difference. Okay, everyone is buzzing. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Let me just have a quick look at the other games. South Shields are still 0-0 and Chester are drawing against Radcliffe. So this would be perfect for us if everything stayed the way it did. Or obviously I want South Shields to lose, but it's unlikely. Daniel Spray to Porter Atkinson. There's a lot of posh double-barreled names knocking around here. Smith tries to cut out the ball, but he still managed to get across here. And Omelette du Bromage up front. That's a reference that no one under about 30 is going to understand. But he manages to head it into the far corner. It was a lovely cross and a well-taken header, to be honest. I'm a bit annoyed that Smith didn't go for that a little bit more. But you can't really argue with that little run of play. As soon as I start talking about how good we are, things go to shit. I've got a Jackson goal kick. Long ball up, but Backwell just decides not to jump for it. And now they're on the counter again, but Hamblin does pick it up. Don't give it away. or at least not on the edge of the box. But lovely pass to Backman, and he's put through Agbano. Coming through as well, and one is chipped the goalkeeper and put it 3 feet. Well, 3 feet wide wouldn't be too bad. It was felt like a 12 feet wide, it looked like. Okay, Morehouse with a corner in the 60th minute. Ball comes in. Mitchell tries to get on the end of it, but he can't. He's going to get another chance at the cross, though. They get it away again. Can Archer pick this up? Marcel, make your debut goal. Yes, he's managed to score. Tyson Marcel makes an immediate impact for the club. 60th minute. He's put us back ahead. Lovely, well-taken goal there. I think Archer got the header to him, was it? Starts off the play there, runs into the box. Ball comes out. Archer manages to beat the defender. Marcel with a lovely little touch to get him into position and slots it past the keeper without any issue at all. Game on. We are doing very well here. I think I might look at making a sub. We've got quite a few tired legs out there. So I think Phil Smith is only on a 6.2, so I'm going to bring Tanadra on for him. Agbanone has not been brilliant, 6.4, but it's fine. I'll keep him on. We don't have another defender on at the back, so I'm not going to be able to bring Zach Mitchell off, who's on a 6.3. But I think overall, ratings-wise, that's all the changes that I need to make. Morehouse has been our best player, but he is starting to look very tired, so I'm probably going to give him another 5 minutes and maybe take him off for Tessier, I'm thinking. Might work. Yeah, we gave him a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but we'll bring Tessier on for the... Tessier? I would pronounce that Tessier, but that might not be correct. I think Tessier is more of an advanced playmaker, isn't he? Yeah, and Archer can still play Mazzala. So swap those two over. I am actually going to move him back to a deep line playmaker on support just to try and hold on to this lead and make sure that nothing bad happens. Didn't notice we've got 343 fans here today, and they're hopefully seeing us see out this last minute. And yes, we managed to get a win against Kings Lynn Town. Fantastic little performance there. I mean, we didn't create a whole lot of chances, but we managed to take 2 of the 4 shots on target. I don't think we even saw the other 2, actually. It was the only other attacking highlight that we saw was Agbanone's chip attempt, which I'm not even sure I'd count that as that much of a chance, to be honest. But either way, very well done, lads. We weren't at our best, but we got a result. That is exactly how I feel. And that is a fantastic result for us. What else happened? South Shields managed to get a 94th minute winner. Otherwise, we'd only have been 3 points behind them. Chester also managed to get a second half winner and won 3-2. So we face them next and we'll try and put them down as well. I probably should have recorded it, but I was actually just a little bit too annoyed and clicked through it quite quickly. Cade Ratchford kicked off about us apparently not trying hard enough to sell him, which, you know, I wouldn't have minded this coming through like a week ago, but he's agreed with us that we can go at the end of the season. But I mean, his contract runs out at the end of the season and the transfer window is currently closed. So it was impossible for him to go any sooner than that, and he's completely happy with going then. So I don't really know what he's getting so mad about, to be honest. And as speedy as anything, we've got our next match coming up. We're visiting Chester FC away today. Second against third in the table in the promotion hunt. And I mean, a win here, I think if Stafford don't do well, or Stafford or Boston don't do well, we could come very close to guaranteeing ourselves a playoff spot at the very least. But like I've said before, it is these top 2 spots that are the most important in the playoffs. So we definitely need to make sure that we finish inside of those. But anyway, let's get into the game. We are lining up like this today, I believe. I am having a bit of a crisis on the wing still because Marcel is not very fit and has got a very high risk of injury. But at the same time, the only person we could realistically bring in for him, with Waldo still being suspended, is Ajani Birchall, who is also, not having a great time. So I'm thinking I might give them a half each. We'll give Marcel the first half, and then Birchall can come in for the second half. Also, Shiloh Waldo's suspension. This was supposed to be his last game suspended, but it's just been increased for a further 2 games, which is a little unfortunate. But it does make it all the more important that, we brought in Marcel to cover the positions in general. Apart from that, I don't think I'm going to make too many changes. I might stick Tanadra for Mitchell, actually, because Mitchell's struggling a bit. Actually, Wadham could come in for Gofford. So I say I'm not going to change much, but I actually just changed half of the team. But yeah, I think we're going to go with this. I'm expecting this to be quite a tough game. Chester FC are not a bad side at all. But, we managed to beat Kings Lynn Town with our striker not performing. So, if Adiemo shows up, we shouldn't have a problem here. What's the worst that could happen? I really shouldn't even finish that sentence. Let's just get into the game. All right then, so everyone seems relatively happy with the tactics. Team talk wise, we've been on a good run lately. I suppose that works. Let's try and really shore up our midfield and defence. We are away here, so this could be a bit more challenging than the previous game. And we're facing a 5-2-1-2, which is, I would say, probably our kryptonite as far as formation goes. That's not ideal. We've got very few people up front. Well, Adiemo up front and 2 wing supports. But they've basically got 3 people trying to block out our striker, which is not what you want. We've got 1,400 people here today to see this game. Can we get anything from it? It's been a very quiet start. South Shields are already ahead. Kings Lynn are already ahead. So the pressure is really on both teams here. Chester obviously also trying to secure that top 3 finish. And they're going to need something from this game to stay ahead of Kings Lynn. But it looks like the first half has led to absolutely nothing. Wow. We've been the better team here. Come on. Right. I always say you weren't that bad, but I believe you can still improve. That's my go-to every time. Shit. I was going to bring Birch on for the second half, wasn't I? Yes. Marcel has not been... It's not been bad, but I could definitely do with that additional person up front. We're going to move him back to a winger because I think he plays better like that. Agbalone as an inside forward is definitely more of a scorer. And yes, okay, that's what I should have done 4 minutes ago at half-time. We haven't managed a shot on target yet. I am going to move to positive, or am I? An arch free kick. And oh, it's off the bar and they managed to react quickest. Oh, I thought that was the moment then, yes. Positive incoming. Crowd goes silent, as always, when you change your mentality. Makes no real sense, but got very tired defences on both sides. Can we do anything about ours? We have got Zach Mitch we could bring on for Shepherd. I think I'm going to do that. Agbalone and Morehouse haven't had fantastic games. Do I want to take one off? I think Tessier could come on. We'll move him over and leave Archer in the Mazzala role. And okay, all right, now they've got a throw in deep in our half. Thompson Summers to Goff. Wadham dispossesses him though and gets it up to Adiemo. He's not got much support here, or any support, but he does get it back to Archer. And it comes straight back to him. It's a beautiful pass, but there's no chance he's getting a goal from there. Shoots from a pretty impossible angle. It would have required the goalkeeper to be having a nap for that to have gone in. And now it looks like they're going to show us how it's done. No, they are not. Jackson with a fantastic save, one-on-one with their striker. That was scary. Thompson Summers with a corner though. He goes to the back post and Hamblin manages to get it away. Can he pick it up? No, he can't because that's a throw in for them again. They're keeping the pressure up. But that's where the highlight ends. Okay, I'm going to do a quick demand more, try and get something else out of our players. Most people are loving it. Archer is definitely not. Do I go for this a little more? I think I'm going to. We're going to move Archer up and have him as an advanced playmaker. And maybe have Tessier as what's a Carrilero? No, that Carrilero is not going to be right for us here. We'll just put him as a box-to-box. I haven't tried him as that. I don't know if he's got the stats for that, but that's how we're going to go things. Got a lot of players who are struggling to meet the pace of the match, so we're going to slow things down a little bit more. Maybe slightly shorter passing. But then we could also really do with... Actually, no, I'm going to take that off. It's more direct still, and goalkeeper distribution over the back line, because their back line is on their last legs. And we could probably take advantage of that. Wadham gets it out to Hamblin. Long ball over. I saw Adiemo making the run there, and he's made it through his one-on-one. It's been saved. He just needed to put that wide, and Agbalone would have had an open net. But players don't think like that in Football Manager. Is that going to be a massive missed opportunity for us? Oh, we've made all our subs. I was going to bring Backwell on. Nope, that's not possible. Just wanted to make sure. We're going to move very attacking. Very attacking. No, never mind. By the time I make the change, the game has already finished. I mean, look at that XG graph. We did nothing all game. And then it just shot up with that chance at the end. Adiemo just refusing to pull the trigger when we really needed him to. And I suppose a point isn't bad. You were unlucky today. No, you weren't unlucky today. You were lucky that they didn't score one of the 2 or 3 good chances they had. What else happened? South Shields dropped points to Telford. That's annoying. Kings Lynn did win, so that's put them right back on Chester's heels, despite obviously us beating them in the last game. And while, I obviously would have loved to have won both matches, getting 4 points from the 2 games is completely acceptable, being as they're literally the 2 hardest opponents we could come up against outside of South Shields, obviously. It does sort of prove that we deserve to be where we are, I feel like. But that 4-point gap with only 6 games left is going to be quite hard to make up. But I'm hoping, South Shields have drawn the last game, and that's brought to the end a winning run at the very least. But looking at their last, sort of 10, 12 games, they've drawn 1, lost 1, drawn 2 and lost 1. Is there much chance of them dropping 4 points in the remaining 6? I'm hoping that Kings Lynn and Chester are still locked in a battle when it comes to their match with South Shields, but I'm not massively confident that either of them are going to be able to do much. Who have South Shields actually lost to this season? They lost to Radcliffe early on. They lost to Warrington. They lost to Nuneaton. And they lost to Alfreton Town, none of which are particularly great. So that's a little surprising. Radcliffe are up in 8th, which is kind of the best team out of those, I suppose. Nuneaton are down in 21st. Was it Alfreton who beat them as well? Yeah, Alfreton also beat them. So South Shields have only lost 4 games, and 2 of them have been against 20 and 21st in the league currently, which is a little bit ridiculous of a record to have. But hopefully they also slip up in the remaining games. They have got to play Nuneaton again. I mean, I don't fancy Nuneaton's chances. I think that might have just been a one-off. But we'll have to see how this goes, because this could be very tense indeed. As for us, however, where are we going to be coming back? I mean, I did just see a news story that South Shields have secured their playoff spot. So we will probably secure ours in the next game or 2. So I think we'll either be coming back if we've got a chance to go top at any point in the rest of the season, or if there is a chance we fall out of the top 3. Let's say, I think that makes sense. If not, we might do the last game of the season and then maybe playoffs. I don't know. I'm really not sure. We'll just sort of have to judge it how it goes. It's a bit awkward when you haven't got, that one definitive point that, like in previous seasons, it was, oh, we've got a chance to secure the title in this game, so we'll do this game. Whereas here, we're very much just chasing South Shields or trying to stay ahead of Chester and Kings Lynn. If all of the top 4 do well for the rest of the season, then there's going to be absolutely no drama because we can't move up or down in that situation. But my hopes and prayers are definitely going to be with Chester and Kings Lynn. To have a fantastic end of the season. Not good enough to catch us, of course, because we're not going to lose another game, surely. I don't know why I talk, to be honest, sometimes. But yeah, either way, we should be back at some point over the next 6 games. Thank you very much for watching today. A bit annoyed that second game didn't go any better than it did. But like I said, 4 points from those 2 matches is pretty incredible for us. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave a like or comment down below. It really does help out a great deal, and it means a hell of a lot to me as well. Subscribe to make sure you see whenever we come back. I don't know, like I say, I don't know when that's going to be. Or at least so you don't miss the playoffs that are more than likely going to be coming up in the next episode or 2. And I will see you next time.